Welcome to the NLP UK Training podcast. I'm Fraser.
And I'm Steve Kay.
And today we talk a lot about three principles, but what is it? So Steve, tell our listeners what three principles is. I'm going to give you a little bit of a challenge. Can you tell them what three principles are in 3 minutes?
Of course I can. So the three principles are all about how we experience life. So if it's how we experience life, it must be how we experience other people, how we experience ourselves, how we experience our careers. And essentially, one of the principles is that we have a perceptual system. This is all backed up by neuroscience. And essentially, our brain predicts what's going on in the future and outside of us. So imagine that we don't see the world through a pair of goggles or a pair of glasses. Or through a camera. We are actually the projectionist. So our brain is so tiny compared to what it has to do. It works by best guessing what's going on around us. So, Callie, have you ever walked into a room and seen someone that looks like a friend of yours, and for a minute you've thought she's your friend Jane?
Oh, absolutely. It's happened so many times.
And that's because your brain's predicting all the time what's going on outside you. So, for example, I might say to Callie, in the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen over the course of this podcast. And you'll be listening and predicting to every word that's coming out of my nose.
Oh, that wasn't what I was expecting you to say.
What are you expecting me to say?
In my head, I'd already said mouth.
Mouth, right. So we're predicting what's going on. So your friend Jane, your brain takes all the data you have already that you built up over your life and fires out predictions, best guessing what's going on. So this basically means that everything comes from inside us, not outside in. So all our positive and negative experiences we have of other events and other people, they're all coming from inside, based on our kind of model of the world or script, which means that somebody else can't make you angry or make you upset. Or that driver who you think is driving too quickly in their car, that's your experience that you're throwing out predictions. So your brain might think anybody with a very loud petrol V6 engine must be driving fast. So if you see a car driving down the road and it happens to be very noisy with big exhaust pipes, your brain might be going, he's too fast, he's driving too fast. Actually, there is a car, but your take on it, your experience is all coming from inside by throwing out these predictions. So essentially what this means is that once you kind of get an embodied understanding that everything comes from inside, it's projected out, then you'll start realizing, that's coming from me. When your partner does something that would previously have irritated you, your knowing is actually that's coming from inside me. It's nothing to do with them. So the result will be after a few months of doing this, you'll become calmer. You'll become less concerned about the future and less concerned about the past.
And you'll just live in the moment more. I think that's one of the great things. You realize that all the worries, they don't actually matter because they're not real. And the great thing is about the human brain, we can create our own realities. So we can choose how to view things, how to experience things in a way that's right for us.
And I think the other thing is that with getting an understanding of how it works inside out, we start being a bit more our true selves rather than our ego, which is trying to keep us as we are. It's all about being the real person, the person that was before all the layers of limiting beliefs and attitudes and values that were imposed on us, or we were taught being very young, that came from parents and grandparents and teachers. We can let go a lot of that stuff.
So, Steve, I think that was a great explanation of three principles. Very simply, there is a lot more to it than that, but I think for 3 minutes, that was a great introduction to the three principles. So, guys, if you would like to know any more about three principles as a concept, or about our coaching course or coaching from Steve or I using 3 principles, please get in touch with us. Now, don't forget, subscribe on whichever platform you're listening to this on so you don't miss any episodes that are coming out in the future. So that's the end of today's podcast. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.